Here we are, beautiful Wagga Wagga, going for the Wagga Wagga walk, a bit of a reminisce of old tracks I used to do with Rose, the gorgeous dog. Yep, excuse me. Going to effectively follow the Wiradjuri track, which goes right around the city. Supposedly 42 kilometres. I don't know if we'll get that much done, but we'll have a go. Beautiful day, 6 degrees apparent, and 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll do the lower riverside today, hoping to get a breakfast and then get round to see Wayne's new factory at Absolute Version Steel. It's going to be fun. Over there's the waterworks. I'm not sure what the story is. I think Wagga's on a artesian source. I know it's pretty drought proof. And this is just a little creek which feeds into the mighty Murrumbidgee about 100 metres that away. Historical flood marker on the tree there. You got to wonder how much the tree's grown. There it is, Wagga Wagga Beach. Don't do nothing. Ain't like when I was a lad. On a sunny day we would come down, chuck the lilos in the river up yonder, drift on down with the Rosie swimming or running the banks. Don't know what the buoy marker's for. I don't think you get many boats up here. Really nice place for summer. Water, you get used to the colour. Bit of land for sale over yonder. I guess it's like sell land at low tide. It's definitely on the flood on the floodplain there. You wouldn't build a house on it. Oh, plenty of them. This used to be the site of the motor camp. I guess they got sick of moving them up to high ground every time the river came up. At one stage it was never going to rain and nobody worried, but I think at one stage they were moving them about every 4 or 5 years. Company races, there was a time using the river was popular. Look how much water there is in that bottom picture. It was fun, but now look at that. No swimming. The righteous, beware the righteous. Just so we don't forget. As beautiful as I remember. Just not here for the 5 o'clock wave. We did an expedition here one weekend with Mike and Ian and Cal and a few others. We all hopped in our tubes and lilos etc and floated down the river for 3 or 4 kilometres. I think I've got some photos somewhere. I'll see if I can dig them out. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. All this new levee was, they'd started it when we left in 2015, but it's definitely finished now. True symbol that steel is cheaper than dirt. You think of the inputs, I'm sort of surprised, but it would have been pretty hard to raise all this by moving dirt around. The zeitgeist around the turn of the century, it was never going to rain again, and even the rain that falls won't be enough to fill the dams and rivers. It was a pretty common observation. I was doing hydrology at Charles Sturt, and the lecturer would get up and he would say that Tim Flannery, he really shouldn't say those things. So that was about 2010, 2011 of course. It rained and it rained and it rained and it rained, and the river came up. It was probably, they were pretty sure it was going to go over the levee. They encouraged people to get out of the centre of town, but it didn't. The river held, and it was after that they then decided to extend the levee just in case. And I don't think this new levee's been tested, but it's certainly added another 1800 mil, I guess, onto the previous arrangements. That old Ken, it's never gonna rain. Yeah, they've got that one wrong. Used to be a bridge here. For years they wondered what to do with it. Have gangs changing timbers, changing bolts, changing everything, and finally it looks like they bit the bullet and pulled the bloody thing down. Bloody sensible, I would suggest. Don't know if you can see that. It's a bit of a clever thing if you looked at it from the other side, with the sun in the right direction, of course. See, it would actually look quite spectacular. Here they are, ball station. I didn't think it was river water. Day 2, not quite the Wiradjuri track, but it's a good one. Take us over the hill and back to the city. Oh, have a chat, dogs. Whoa, whoa. Gorgeous things. I'm off. G'day, old dog. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Whose dog are you? Whose dog are you? You gonna let me go? Well, I think I might take a detour. Just can't be bothered. I remember walking through here with Rose, and she would chase rabbits but wouldn't waste her time chasing hares. Personally, I can't work out how she could tell the difference, but she was pretty up on it. There you go, around the problem. There's the mighty Lake Albert, home of my sailing career for a good 10 years. Whenever they watered the golf course down there, they'd take 3 inches of water off the lake. It's really not that big. You could walk across it. It's 5 kilometre walk right around, so it gives you an idea of the size. Would sail with sorry, catch my breath. Would sail with Captain Henderson, who was legally blind, wasn't allowed to drive, but is perfectly happy on the boat as long as you told him which way to go. 75 metres, 10 degrees left, or 10 o'clock, and off he would go. And no, we didn't like it, we had fun. I used to peek him out a few times. We capsized it once, filled it up with water, had to get dragged back. Went out in a Sabo, and not a Sabo, a Corsair, and sank it with the girls. Susan thought it was the funniest thing ever. Dawn just went off. What are you doing to us? What are you doing to us? Inland sailors are really good. If it's light breezes, that's where they clean up. You can be doing one course and you can quite literally get boxed by the wind on the whole course. So every angle on one leg. They race paper tigers, and there's a number of trailer sailor 16s race out of here, and Corrals, I think Corral 22s. So they're a good little yacht, good little lake. King Club. Aha, track of the Hash House Harriers, the drinking team with a running problem. Huh? Another mark. Da 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 da. Cross Red Hill Road and into home territory. Down yonder on the corner there's the girls' school, K1, term of grade 2. And here's what was the track home. All leash-free reserve. Rose would disappear, be out through all the trees, chasing, but keeping an eye on us. And she would come and sit over there, and she would just stop and sit and wait, and then we would just walk up, put the lead on, and walk her to school, where she would greet all the children and really live the dog's life. Bit strange to be walking up here without 2 little kids and a dog in tow. It was a very privileged life, I must admit. It'd be hilarious if I can't find my way. So far so good. Oh yeah, this is our track. If it was raining, it took twice as long to get to school because you had to jump in every puddle. Sometimes you'd come along here at the right time of year and all these trees would be festooned with butterflies. Oh look, there it is, our old house. Well, there you go. Nothing much has changed, although why would you expect it to? That was a good pool. You could fit so many kids in there, you could walk from one side to the other without getting your feet wet. I see they put a permanent cover on the spa pool. It's probably sensible enough. And there's the gate, the door to the universe. Well, I'm going to assume this is the top of the world. I'd sing you a song, but I really don't think anyone deserves it. Airport down that way, Lake Albert, Lloyd, road to Holbrook, Ashmont, and through that gap in the hills over yonder, the road to Adelaide, the route of the Murrumbidgee, and to the south the roads to Temora, Junee, and ultimately Brisbane. Might stop here for a drink of water and a sandwich. Familiar area, back of the zoo. Very familiar. I think there's a bridge down here. Oh yes, getting close to the Uranus Street trails. This was Dawn and Susan as 2-year-olds up to the zoo. We'll do some pictures of the zoo in a minute. Well, these guys weren't here last time, but all this, it was playtime. There you go. I thought I'd nick that sign. Never occurred to me that I'd actually replace it. No, I'm not going that way. Walking track that way. Reduce speed? Yeah. I didn't think I'd get this high. But there it is. Base hospital, schools, TAFE down the bottom here, and I basically started just over yonder, so I guess I've done 8 kilometres, maybe 10. I'll check it later. Downhill to the pub, jiggity jiggity. Look at that, farmer's friend, farmer's home. I'll be home with a beer.